All right. So this is the part where the commentator shows up late and then asks everyone annoyingly in the chat where all the items were. But no, I'm pretty stoked. We have a sweet race between Will Cut Grass for Rupees on the left, Farfaloo and MM2 NES cartridge, and Magic Pants Room on the right, Rusty and Mr. Fox. And I did miss a good point or a good bit of this early, but it looks like just from where we are right now, both players on both teams have one boss down. No one's got a super huge lead, but it looks like Will Cut Grass for Rupees maybe doing a little bit better in finding the items, but those player one suits are still MIA, so looks like a pretty close one to me. Yeah, I guess y'all don't know where Rusty's items were either. But yeah, I'm maniacal. Sorry, I expected to show up and be like, I'm just going to listen to someone else talk about Super Metroid for like an hour. And then no one was talking about Super Metroid. But yeah, where was P2 very as good? It looks like MM2 is doing the stupid worst room in the game strat. Rather than just bomb jumping, Here we get to ask whether he spends more time doing the stupid thing than bomb jumping, and there he goes bomb jumping. Big story is MM2 died and found his own Varia in Billy Mays. Ooh. That is a compelling narrative, because Retro is one of those areas, there's no bosses there, so you kind of want to put it off, and it doesn't look like Mr. Fox is in the area of that. Yeah, Bailed Out by Death is one of those multi-world, somewhat specific things. Yeah, Spring Ball's a really great way through worst room in the game, so you don't have to try and do the stupid bomb jump or stupid wall jump. But, you know, MM2 does make it up through worst room in the game competently enough. And, oh, he's thinking about that Spazer. Not sure. His partner has Plasma and he has Spazer, so it was just a matter of whether he wanted to be a jerk to Farfalu or not. And he's decided to be a little kinder, and that's okay. Yeah, shoutouts to Spazer. And so it looks like Farfalu's headed in for Kraid, his second boss. Kind of a pretty easy one to, you know, put in to the run, kind of whenever you're in the area. It's not too hard to get to Kraid's lair, but good to get it out of the way. MM2 almost to Ridley with that Varia advantage, but hasn't been to Wrecked Ship yet. And then Fox with Fantoon done looks to have already been through Wrecked Ship. So it's really a matter of whether he found anything good in Wrecked Ship or did the top. So when Fox was in Wrecked Ship, did he do all of Wrecked Ship? Oh, and Farfalu having a little bit of trouble with Kraid. But Kraid opening his mouth pretty quickly there, getting good RNG on the stand-up for Kraid. And MM2 on his way through Wasteland, getting some extra supers there. At first it looked like 0-4. I'm pretty sure that's 64, or oh, now 69 supers. Nice ammo for Ridley. He shouldn't have any trouble with this fight coming up. And looks like Rusty is headed down into Red Tower, I think, if I caught the room right. So Fantoon out of the way. Where are these P1 suits? And we had a reset there for Fox. Shouts to Elgato. He's going to get his items back because that's how Multiworld does things. And MM2 is into Ridley. Yeah, with Screw Attack in both suits and basically infinite ammo, unless you jump into Ridley a whole lot, this is a pretty safe fight. And looks like we have a full rando today, so I think this probably is just going to come down to, well, A, who finds those P1 suits faster, and then B, does Mr. Fox decide he wants to go and get that Varia, or just wants to skip it? With full rando, you do end up picking up a whole lot of extra stuff, and so for players who are comfortable just kind of quickly dipping into Lower Norfair and then dipping back out, shouldn't be too bad of a hell run for him, although it's still a little bit early to be putting that on the table. Just because, I mean, he's only got 5 total tanks right now, and MM2 now with 5 to match. And there is that P1 Plasma. We'll probably see Mr. Fox go get that. We already saw that, I guess, from MM2 when he was down there. Yeah, MM2 going with the Plasma SBA here, not quite as effective on the Disgigas as I think he may have wanted that to be. But does make it through Wasteland nonetheless. And we'll see how Rusty fares on his Kraid fight. Oh, got a little bit of that block there. So we're gonna have to wait for Kraid to open his mouth. And nicely cleaned up. And Farfalu is going in on these upper Norfair Hell runs. Looks like, okay, first order of business is getting a little bit of a farm in here. I thought we were seeing the straight to Croc, but no, he's got good ammo. He's got 2 crystal flashes, so should be fairly quick. He's got speed, high jump, space jump. Shouldn't be too bad doing these hell runs, but is taking the save. This is probably much more for just being able to reset out of some of these checks if they're bad, and to avoid having to actually wait to crystal flash and do all that stuff, rather than real risk of it being, you know, unsafe or dying. Although he is doing some farming here, which surprises me. Yeah, there's not a whole lot that he really wants. The power bomb drop rate's really low on these. I guess we're in Upper Norfair. They gamuts? I don't know. Whatever's here, I think they're gamuts coming out of this pipe. It's kind of a weird choice with 2 crystal flashes and having just taken a save to spend 20 seconds farming, but that's what we got today. And we got farming from Mr. Fox too. And Farfalu finding his own ice beam, so he's gonna probably want to keep that. Probably gonna choose to run back out rather than reset out of there. So now we have the convergence point in the run where all 4 runners are just chilling in Upper Norfair. And we'll see if any of them find anything. Okay, and how many reserves does Farfalu have? He has 2. Okay, so we're probably going to see a crystal flash. Oh, he's going in. He's going to get across the room here. And he's going to have to crystal flash, like, right there. Okay, so yeah, he's going to hop in here, probably do his crystal flash before leaving, and then be good to go to leave through a double chamber. And looks like MM2. Nice little blue gate glitch there. Gonna head toward Crocomire. So if you got those Croc emotes, you know, y'all love them, so just throw those in chat, why not? So many good Croc emotes. I want to see the best Croc emotes. And then I want to disagree with you and claim it's objective. Because here's our favorite boy. That doesn't look right, Polar Bear Bunny. That does not look like a Croc emote. That looks like... I don't even think that was bad frame. I think that was fail to roll into the spikes frame. Yeah, that's fail to roll into the spikes frame. That MM2 was getting there going for that spike suit, but not a very important spike suit, so it'll be okay. And here we have more Crocs. Double Crocs. Are we about to get triple Crocs? I think we're getting the third Croc. We got 2. Here comes the third. If you wanted 3 straight minutes of Crocomire but didn't want to play Blue Plasma Sparks Plando, it was awful. You've come to the right place. So we'll see what's down here in Croc's lair. So far, nothing big, other than Crocomire himself. And our We'll Cut Grass for Rupees on the left will be the first to find anything that's down here. Farfalu enjoying a little bit of the lag there. Croc is a big boy, makes lots of lag. But unless Rusty dodges this and it's empty, or Farfalu finds something and Rusty skips, we would expect the teams kind of to be at parity out of this. We'll Cut Grass for Rupees is going to be a little bit ahead. We are getting the MM2 and Fox sort of high five here, not getting those missiles. Instead, just spending a lot of time falling into the lava. And no Varia yet for Fox because he's not done Retro Brin. Is going to farm up just a little bit. All right, and we are going to. I think Rusty's setting us up here. That farm is not going to work the way you want it to, but there is the Nutella refill coming up here probably for Rusty. I would expect to pop over to do the good old Nutella refill. No Nutella refill for Rusty. I'm surprised. We're coming up on the good old quad Croc here. Here it is. Rusty's giving us the full set of Crocs. So yeah, Croc's lair gonna kind of be a wash. It doesn't look like either team found anything there, but because both teams did it for both players, yeah, there's going to be slight executional differences, but for the most part, nothing won, nothing lost for the teams. And looks like MM2 might be our first player up into Meridia. So I'm expecting some big things here from Meridia. I'm expecting some P1 suit here in Meridia, at least one. But we'll see. I don't think Fox will be too much longer for going into Meridia. The unfortunate thing for Magic Pants Room is that that's going to keep him away from his Varia suit. But we'll just hope that it's a bunch of P2 E-tanks as well as P1 suits here in Meridia. So I'm interested to see what Farfalu does here. We have High Jump, we have Ice Beam, we've got a billion to E-tanks. I think we might be seeing that push towards Suitless. High Jump, Ice Grapple, making some moves up toward Meridia seems like a pretty solid play for Farfalu here. Lower Norfair also doesn't seem too bad, but Lower Norfair without even Gravity Suit can kind of be a little obnoxious. Oh, and there is the P1 Varia, so I think we're going to see Farfaloo turn and go right for Lower North right now. So P1 Varia at P2 Beach. Not at all surprised. Meridia's got so many items in it. I wouldn't be surprised if we find both suits up here in P2 Meridia. But given the loadout for Farfaloo, he's got pretty good ammo. I think that's 90, 50, 50. Has Ice Beam, High Jump, Grapple. It's not ideal, but you know, we might see this called go mode for left team here. Now, I would still expect MM2 to be doing a lot of checks because he does have a lead and better mobility through Meridia, so I think it makes a lot of sense for him to continue making the plays that he's making, but to not necessarily go out of his way to do bad plays any more than he might otherwise. So probably not going to see, say, Plasma today, or probably no P2 Shack tool from, at least from Will Cut Grass for Rupees. And MM2 is gonna go right on into the sand pits here. Definitely is ahead by enough that this is something he can afford to do. I'd be kind of shocked if we see the play through to Shack Tool, but I think the better play might be to let P1 look through their own lower north air, see if they find the gravity, and then plan to dig out wrecked ship with the information that Will Cut Grass for Rupees has, and strand some of these bad items in Meridia. I just think that the bad items in Meridia, the density is so bad on those that, you know, doing something like Upper Wrecked Ship makes a little bit more sense, because there are a couple spots where there's a few items consolidated, but MM2 has found his own Spring Ball there in the right sand pit, is choosing to keep it. Note that for the future. MM2 has made a meme of really disliking Spring Ball in a somewhat arbitrary way. He hasn't really given a good reason for it. I'm trying to think of good reasons to not like Spring Ball. And the only one I can think of is it makes Spike Suit harder, but then we saw him botch his Spike Suit a bunch at Crocomire, so what do I know? If you aren't getting Spike Suit anyway, I feel like Spring Ball's all upside. Oh, and there he does reset, losing out on his Spring Ball. So our tracker Pro Piece, shout out to Pro Piece, doing a great job keeping track of all the items. Has judiciously selected Spring Ball and then grayed it back out. As we have Farfaloo onto the Ridley fight, and there it is. If you blinked, it's over. And we'll see how MM2 does on Batun. choosing... Oh, and Fox with the, I believe we called that the goofy quarter halfie, where he jumped a little too high on his full halfie attempt, but it was admirable. He almost had it. You could say he super had it. And they're MM2 with the full halfie. And oh, there's a spring ball there at Precious Missiles. Both spring balls in P2's game today. MM2 surely happy about that. Gonna have to collect a second spring ball today. And it looks, pretty close between our players, but we know, Fox has done Fantoon against MM2's Ridley. But I would say that they're each in the lead on their respective teams. And so the real lead, as I'm assessing it, is Farfaloo being done with Ridley, and Rusty still heading in, although both players checking fire fleas only a few seconds apart. It is unclear about this Dragon strategy, but it'll work out. MM2 is absolutely geared up here, so is trying to make the Dragon death cutscene about as long as possible. Could go for the 15 minutes, try and kill her off screen, but instead just choosing to not kill her near the center of the room, and does get his spike suit this time. So that's good. We'll see. Most common usage for this would be to use it on the way back through the Coliseum to sort of do like a reverse Swample Spark, and we'll see if that's what MM2 chooses to use that for. Nope, he uses it to escape the Precious Room. Probably an accident, but that's okay. Oh, and Fox did have a spark stored there, so I guess had a spike suit. I missed it. I wanted to see what was the space jump item, and does get the reverse halfie there. So between MM2 and Fox, we got a speedy Coliseum both ways. So that's always nice. And MM2 going through Cack Attack Alley. Looks like he wants to go check Plasma Beam. I don't know that he's ahead enough to do this. I mean, I guess it depends how much wrecked ship he wants to do. But with wrecked ship being so close to Torian, you can kind of audible away from that based on where your partner is. Nice fast entry for Suitless Main Street here from Farfaloo, and does not kill the important fish. Kills an unimportant crab. Sorry to that crab. And is doing okay so far on his Suitless Main Street. Is going to need to bring that crab around. Plasma can be a little bit dangerous, so he wants to be sure that he's traveling in the direction of the things that he's shooting to not accidentally Doppler double hit them. But as long as he is traveling opposed to the enemy, he should be okay. So pretty clean Main Street ascension there for Farfaloo. Does have Grapple Beam. That's going to make Mount Everest pretty easy. Does get a little hung up there, but catches himself and is going to be through Mount Everest. I'm curious to see if we do end up finding that P1 gravity. And it looks like Fox is probably never going to find his Varia suit. Looks like the play is to go down into Lower Norfair without the Varia So we're going to see a nice suitless Laura Norfair coming up here from Mr. Fox. And here we got some grapple jumps from Farfaloo. Pretty clean. And Farfaloo, it looks like we're going to get an ice clip here with this Metroid. Nicely done. No X-ray scopes yet for any player, so that's a little unfortunate. We would love an X-ray scope right about now. Good use of screw attack there in beta power bombs for MM2. And looks like before going into Gravitron that Mr. Fox might use this as the first instance of crystal flashing now. It looks like he only has a... I think that's a 3. It looks like he does have 30 power bombs right now. Oh, he's gonna deboost in. Okay. I see you there, Mr. Fox. Get this crystal flash, he's gonna get the free refill. And I guess we're probably gonna see a gravity jump here as his easiest way in, since he did not lava spark. Clean entry, gets gravity back on, and is going to save here at the top of Lower Norfair. Makes sense. Can get a little dangerous down here without Various Suit. And it looks like Rusty is similarly in that situation where kind of all that's left is to do Meridia. And so I think we might see Rusty make more Meridia checks than we've seen out of Farfaloo, because they are still looking for 2 suits for Magic Pants room. Alright, and Rusty, choosing a little bit of a different Main Street strat than what we saw at Farfaloo, is going to elect for some spring ball jumps. It's a little bit slower, but not that much slower, and if you mess up freezing things in the right position sort of even once, it'll end up being faster than waiting for them to thaw out. So, also having a pretty nice Main Street so far. Good grapple jump Dragon exit for Farfaloo, and Mr. Fox looked like took a death there. So he does have that save at the top of the elevator, that's why you take it. But that isn't going to help Magic Pants Room catch up, and Will Cut Grass for Rupees has built a little bit of a lead at this point. So I don't think that death is going to end up making a difference, but at the same time I don't think that is a death that they can afford in trying to come back in this one. So now Farfaloo and MM2 each have all 4 of their G4 bosses done, so they'll just be on their way to Torian. And I see Polar Bear Bunny in chat asking the important question that I too was asking about: where are these X-ray scopes? And we're getting a grapple jump from Rusty as well. Just a little bit behind Farfaloo here. Also not making too many checks in his Suitless Meridia play. It's always interesting seeing how folks choose to exit Meridia. I think Farflu's doing this the right way, although it's also the way that it has these obnoxious sand pits, rather than doing sort of a reverse ice clip. We'll see if we get some spring ball jump here, or oh, he's got grapple selected. Looks like he might be going for the grapple jump back up to the top of Aqueduct. I see a lot of people do this, but I have a lot of trouble believing that this is faster than just doing the spring ball jump out. But it's not incredibly slower. I don't know which one's faster done optimally. I'm sure someone does. Looks like we're getting a criteria power bombs check here from MM2. Probably just gonna check a couple things on his way over into Torian. If he gets lucky and finds, gravity or something that's gonna help Farflu out, it's a good call. And looks like Farflu's gonna go for this grapple jump here, and nicely done. And Fox, having a little bit better of a go of things in his lower Norfair this time, has made it to Fireflea, has a Crystal Flash in tow, is going to take just one Crystal Flash down here into Wasteland. Should be okay, and is going to take the Red Key Hunter Shaft save. So he's going to lock this status in. Could always go back up to Firefleas and farm if he ends up in trouble, but that really isn't going to happen. It's just a matter of whether he's going to have to farm one extra Crystal Flash or not, coming up here in on these Violas in the room right before Ridley, that I'll just call the Plower House room, because I don't know what it's called. And it looks like we're gonna get the Crystal Flash. Oh, we're getting it right before the door here. That's a good spot for it. Right before the Metal Pirates room is MM2 and Farflu are basically both into Torian. Farflu still needs to hit that elevator. Now he too is in Torian. And it looks like Rusty is going to take a save here. Didn't catch quite what he was doing. Looks like maybe he's setting up for a full RBO Dragon fight. Looked like maybe he was damaging his health down a little bit. Does have just Power Suit on instead of Area Suit. So while I wasn't watching it super closely, seems very reasonable that this is to set up RBO. Dragon, although there's an E-Tank here in the wall, and so he's surely communicating with Fox saying, hey, I got an E-Tank here, do you need a refill? And unfortunately it's his own E-Tank, so not quite, but it was given a teammate who's doing Suitless Lower Norfair, absolutely the right call. MM2 doing some laggy baby skip here, just the way I like it, and makes it through. Also important on baby skip, so good baby skip there from MM2. And is going to take off Varia, probably take off Screw Attack, facilitate damaging down here to set up his stand-up glitch. Does have full beam, so we'll be able to save some time with the Mother Brain stand-up glitch. And then also to set up an easy Zebetite skip. I don't know if MM2 is the sort of person who really likes the down back Zeb skip or not. Good low lag skip there from Farflu. Never kills that side hopper on the ceiling. Little bit more technically difficult than the other baby skip, but good baby skip from both players so far. And Fox is about to enter his Suitless Ridley, and Rusty taking a death on the top right screen. Looked like he was still in power suit, so probably something to do with Dragon there. Didn't catch quite what. And clean Zeb skip there from Farflu. We'll be on to Mother Brain 1. As we're getting the last bit of Ridley here from Fox. So far, pretty well executed fight. Does have plenty of super missiles, so is just going to be able to just pump all of those right into Ridley. Really being a little bit of a jerk, not grabbing immediately, but now is dead. MM2 into the cutscene here. Health is okay for stand-up, damages himself down, and just needs to not do anything awkward now. Is going to use the wall jumps here to keep himself standing. And so he's good now. Maybe a little bit more dangerous of a way to do it, but it works out. And we are getting RBO Dragon here from Rusty. And we're getting that farm from Fox. Having a little bit of trouble grabbing the Zebo drops here, but looks like he's in a good rhythm now. And Farflu likewise setting up his stand-up. And Rusty, not great on health, but should be okay here. And probably just going to choose to Crystal Flash again unless he's real good at this grapple escape. He's got like one go at it. And man, Fox is in a hurting spot right now. He can get his health up slowly. But I think he might just be on the wait for Rusty to find one of my E-Tanks plan, although Rusty is in suitless Meridia, so he's not going to be finding anything all that fast. This is kind of a bad spot for Magic Pants Room that they've ended up in. We know it is not going to make a difference. Rather than do the grapple escape, Rusty is just going to use that spark to get out and then choose to do some spring ball jumps. I like this. MM2 didn't keep that spring ball, does not get to do his blue bomber, unfortunate. But that's okay, he already had turned screw attack off. And so is just going to go through the Leodox room however he prefers. Sometimes he likes to jump around and explore and do 100% map strategies. Does not look like that's what he's going to do today. A little bit difficult to do without space jump. And, oh, Farflu getting caught by the gates, but makes it through. Probably not too worried given that there's no duns from the other team yet, but is going to need to, finish up to secure the victory for his team. And, oh, he's going to spark into the ceiling there and drop down to the ship. Did, probably miss a tile there, but that's okay. But MM2's the first of the ship. GG to MM2. It looks like about a 106.06. I am not in the race time room, so, it's a 106.06 official time for me. And Farflu should be finishing up here within a minute, so pretty good balance of teamwork. So it looks like Fox is having to redo this Ridley fight. Just came in with a little bit low on power bombs, which is why I was saying we were kind of looking at maybe a pretty extensive farm here of the Violas here. And I just don't think that that's what happened the first time through, but their Farflu's made it to the ship. 106.43 is roughly official. It's as good as we're going to get right now. So GG to Will Cut Grass for rupees. They will move on This is a lower bracket match at this point. Both teams have picked up losses earlier. We'll cut grass for rupees, having lost to Zevdi, and Magic Pants Room, having been seeded into the lower bracket from the group stage. Will be eliminated. Will cut grass for rupees. Will go on to face the loser of match 15, which is Bear Pair versus TBD. I believe that's on the schedule, but first we are joined by MM2 and Farfaloo. GG, guys.
Well, that was a very unexpected Varia, I will say. Though,
yeah. That's what I heard. So I did miss like the first 18-ish minutes of the race. And Fox taking another death. It's a little rough.
Heck yeah.
But, yeah. So the race that will decide who you play next, Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, channel TBD. But it looks like you're going to be commentating it with Hockey Towner. So
I will. Yeah, very excited for that.
That should be fun. But yeah, let's get to the seed. Where do you think that gravity for P1 is?
I assume not P2 Edicoons or P2 Mission Impossible power bombs, because it would have been very tragic if it was there.
I don't know if we can say that it's not there, because we've not seen P2 Bryn Loop, I think, from Fox. So I don't know if they've gone back through.
Okay.
So if it's there, and it you know, as far as I know, it may be. I did not see anyone go through Britain's Star this game, because again, I came in a little late.
Yeah, what happened was I died going out of Wavegate because I got hit through the transition by a small hopper on 4 health. So, and then I went back to Blue Bryn and I got power bombs from Farfaloo in that time, so I could check Billy Mays, and that had P2 Varia.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and that has been a big part of the narrative of this. Was you got to be down in Lower Norfair pretty early, gave you a little bit better of a macro route on the seed. But I mean, it meant that you weren't up in Meridia super early, so you didn't find your P1 Varia.
Yeah, I was very concerned about that. Also, looking at Farfaloo's credits, it looks like his gravity was in his own left sandpit.
Oh, howdy. Well, we might be seeing that real soon, man.
Looks like we're literally about to see that.
I was going to say. Well, we should be able to confirm what... Oh, there it is. There is a gravity, yeah. So it looks like Rusty might be going to get some gravity suit here.
Heck yeah.
Spoiling it right before we got to see the hype thing, man.
Wow.
Heck
yeah. I will say I had I didn't make the connection that Rusty was doing Meridia Reserve as I saw it said on Farfaloo's stream, but well.
Nice wall jump into Morph there for Rusty, and he can't quite get it. He's just got to do the Hoenn shuffle. Oh, there he got it. And an E-Tank. Of course it's for Fox. Oh my god, that left sandpit.
Yeah, so I assume Mr. Fox just had a rough go at Variolous LN.
Yeah, there was a completed Ridley, and then it was sort of a bad powerbomb situation. Didn't quite make it out, kind of farmed around. Teammate was doing some suitless Meridia, which wasn't helping find E-Tanks very quickly, and ended up in a bad farm spot, and wasn't able to dig out of it. But,
unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, it was not the deciding factor in the race. So, like, you know, when bad stuff happens like that, you always feel good when it doesn't swing the result of a race.
For sure.
But, yeah, I mean, you had... or I guess Farfaloo had the suitless Meridia play. You bailed on your own spring ball.
Yeah, I think it's a thing I get. Yeah, and I think it's a thing I get every seed we play lately on our Multiworld. I'm always doing that suitless Meridia, so no big surprise there, but it was cool to do it again.
Yeah, I had a
Yeah.
bunch of Varias at Wreckship Reserve that were for me, and I had to skip them.
Yeah. You had a really nice Main Street Farflu. Have you been practicing Plasma Main Street?
No, actually, I did some RBO lately, and I was a bit concerned about that with only plasma, because sometimes it just double hit and kill the crabs.
Yeah.
But that's why MM2, when he saw my spring ball, just took it, and it was a nice safety to not reset the room if enemy are dead, so I can continue. But I didn't need it after all. Well, actually, I use it for the Dragon Escape, so I did not have to bother doing the RBO strat on Dragon, and could just leave with Spring Ball.
Yeah, so Rusty did the RBO strat on Dragon, got the Spark Suit, and then used it to escape Dragon's room from low health rather than grapple jump out and then Spring Ball jumped. So we saw some really RBO flavored, but Spring Ball tinged, I'll say, suitless Meridias. That's always fun. Spring Ball is one of those ones that I love having before doing suitless Meridia, just because it makes failing at any of the primary strats so much less punishing.
But if it wasn't so punishing, then a certain SMZ3 co-op match would have gone differently, and that would have made me sad, because we probably would have lost. But
yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily remember.
It was the one, the Spring Ball on Ped one. No, it was me and Farflu versus Plasma Gober with Spring Ball on Ped, Gravity, and right sandpit, right item.
Okay, I was like, I wasn't sure if you were trying to like throw some shade about something I messed up at some point.
No,
I messed something up.
Oh, not you. No, just some other runners that aren't in this tournament.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of overlap between the Super Metroid and the SMZ3 communities. No shocker there.
For sure. Yeah, there are a bunch of SMZ3ers that are in this tournament.
Yeah, I think. So let's see. We have Bear Pair is an SMZ3 team. And then we have Will Cut Grass for Rupees as well. So two SMZ3 teams still live in this one. You love to see it. And if Bear Pair doesn't win on Saturday, y'all could race each other
for the for the second time. That's a lot.
I was gonna say, and
if the second time,
if they do win on Saturday, y'all could still race each other eventually if you win enough matches.
Yeah, just play well.
Yeah, just don't screw up, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I felt like this match was a kind of a screw up when I saw P1 Varia where it was, because my thought process was, oh, you get the P2 Gravity, and assuming you don't get P2 Varia, then you go to Meridia first, get the Varia, and then if P2 Gravity is accessible, then it's just the LN Hell Run away from victory and we lose. Assuming the Hell Run goes well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think Fox did all of Upper Wrecked Ship before sort of getting into some of the Hell Run stuff, and was also late into Meridia. So they didn't have that Varia for P1 very early.
Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely there's always an argument to be made for going up, but I had 2 suits and I had Morph Ball Bomb, so in theory I could have full cleared both Meridia and Lower Warfare, with the exception of a couple items here and there.
Yeah. It's always tough to make those calls, because when especially when you're in the player position that is, movement advantaged by virtue of having both suits, you kind of bias toward thoroughness, but in which order do you want to be thorough is always a little bit up for debate. It's kind of a fun puzzle with Multiworld. But yeah, so I'm just looking at the bracket here. Bear Pair versus TBD is your next opponent. Do you have a preference? You want to race Bear Pair again? You want to race folks?
I mean, I've raced Bear Pair a bunch of times. This would be our like third race across SMZ3 co-op and this together. But I guess if you count SM Rando League playoffs, you could say it's my fourth race, but not Farfaloo's. But I also raced TBD in Rando League playoffs last year and won that. And I lost versus Bear Pair. So I don't know. They're both very good teams, so I can't really say I have a preference.
Yeah, I mean, we're at that point in the tournament where there's, we're down to 7 teams now.
Yes, yeah, 7
so,
teams.
There's no free lunch.
For sure.
Like all the teams are competent and all the matches are fun.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just hoping for a good race on Saturday. Because if it's not, then I have to be stuck commentating it. That's a joke, by the way. I love commentating.
Well, we get like 1 to 2 races a week at this point, so I'm hoping they're all good races.
For sure.
Right? Because by the time I get to scratch that itch of wanting to watch more Super Metroid Multiworld, like, if the race is bad, I'm just like, man, that was unfulfilling. But this was a good race. This was, even though Magic Panserum is forfeited and y'all had a little bit of a lead early, it was still fairly competitive, and with that P1 suit hunt going on, it really wasn't decided probably until I'll say until there were a couple late-ish deaths between Rusty and Fox.
Makes sense.
They would have had some making up time to do at that point, but it was not in the space of like, okay, this is insurmountable. Like if Rusty does a check and spikes, P1 gravity somewhere that isn't their own left sandpit, that could have made up the difference, because it was a Rusty v Farfaloo, assuming that Fox kind of smoothly gets through the lower Norfair.
Yeah.
And so if P1 gravity shows up somewhere, that could have made the time difference.
For sure. Definitely a lot of ways a race can always go differently.
Did you say waterways? Because that's a check that could do it.
Oh my god.
Waterways.
I mean,
a race could always go differently.
For sure. It's a check that can often swing a race if it's something important.
Yeah, and I guess apparently P2 Edicoons as well.
Yeah. That's like the second time we've had bad power bombs going into Brinstar for somebody. Heckin'.
Yeah, so I guess, where were your first power bombs?
For a minute they were at Spore Spawn Supers, but then I died going out of Wavegate. So, and then I got some power bombs from Farfaloo somewhere, and then I had those to go into Billy Mays with.
Yeah, so real quick, Rusty has gotten floor locked in stand up, but Mother Brain should stand up and give him the kick, give him the boot. Oh. And he has enough E-tanks that the baby will follow, so he should be good to
go. Nice.
If he had fewer E-tanks, that would have been a problem. Shouts to GT Classic.
GT Classic. Shouts to the GT Classic tourney going on right now.
Yeah. Man, I wish I'd known about that GT Classic tournament. I do love me some GT Classic, and I've been kind of lobbying for like GT Classic to be a main tournament for a while, but I understand like the variance of the category. It could be really, really frustrating and unfulfilling, but I kind of would love it anyway because it's such a cool category.
Yeah, I mean, there's a decent shot there's going to be another one next year if Zoa organizes it, because there was one last year. It was technically the 2020 tourney, but it started like late December 2020, so it was really like the 2020 tourney that mostly happened in 2021. And now there's the 2022 tourney, so there might be a 2023 tourney. I don't want to think about 2023.
That's only 9 months away.
Yeah.
These tournaments go on for 7 months anyway, so what? You got like a 2-month break?
Oh my god.
I mean, maybe you haven't been around long enough yet, MM2.
Hey,
but some of these tournaments drag, man.
Hey, I heard about like the Plando tourney, in Link to the Past.
Is that one finished? Did someone win that yet?
Oh my god.
No,
Yeah.
I legitimately do not know.
Oh my god. I
have no
haven't
idea if
heard
that
anything
tournament's
about
finished.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything about that in like over a year, so I assume it is, but you never know. Who knows? And then also, of course, the 512 Swiss.
That one, that one still hits viscerally for me. Somehow, I still played Azure in the Swiss of that because it was in like 2018, and every single tournament Azure and I got to play each other.
Ha.
It was like five different tournaments that year.
Wow.
Where it didn't matter if there were 510 other players. We were gonna make it happen.
Heck yeah. All right, well, that's probably gonna be it for me. I do want to actually rewatch this because I want to hear your commentary.
It's mostly me showing up, kind of like Twitch chat, being like, "Where was item?" Anyone know where P2 Varia was? It looks like the animal surprise is go back to the Metal Pirates.
Oh, and he turned his Varia off, so he's taking constant heat damage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that was a treat. Shout
One
out
day
to
I wanna-
Total
yeah.
and the animal surprise.
Yeah, one day I want to do Boomerang Taunt, but with Animal Surprise, and see if the door doesn't automatically close and I can get back through. That'd be funny. Turning off Spring Ball.
We're sprinkle jumping. We're sprinkle
Rusty.
Alcatrazing. The best escape.
What the heck?
No, this is the. I love seeing this. Rusty's going out on his own terms here, and you get one last escape, one last dance here in the Super Metroid 2v2 Multiworld tournament, and make the most of it, dude. Have a ball.
Yeah.
GG to Rusty.
Yeah, GG to Magic Pants Room for sure.
Yeah, GG Fox and Magic Pants Room as well. Definitely get choosing to not finish in Fox's situation. Like, I don't want to go do Ridley a third time. I get it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you play it out until you see your opponent's finish. And
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally respect not finishing in Fox's scenario, and also big respect to Rusty for finishing it out.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see some fun. Got to see the animal surprise, some spring ball escape, Mother Brain kicking Samus out of the stand-up lock.
Monday yikes.
Yeah, so some good and some bad features. But that was a lot of fun.
Heck yeah.
And Rusty's joined us in the chat. I don't know if Rusty wants to come in and join us. I don't know if he does voice interviews or not. Same with Fox. But I did see them both in chat, so huge GGs to those guys. Magic Pants Room put up a really nice run in this tournament. Smaller field, just really competitive field, and a good match here today. Well, Rusty says he's got a meeting, so GG to Rusty. Definitely get that, having to get back to work. I was hoping to pop in and knock out some work while like watching this, and I was like, there are no comms. I have a solution. It might not be a good solution. So about 20 minutes in, maybe almost 30, I hopped in and was just like, I'm confused and I'm going to talk, and it looks like it's full rando. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. GG's again to Will Cut Grass for Rupees, MM2 NES Cartridge, and Farfaloo. They'll be moving on to face the loser of Bear Pair vs. TBD. That match, again, is, I believe, Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Probably on some SpeedGaming channel. Don't know what it will be. Huge shout-outs to ProPiece tracking this race, as well as we'll be tracking that one, assuming nothing changes on the schedule. And then Sunday at 1 p.m., so 2 weekend 1 p.m. races. We have another matchup on the other side of the losers bracket. We have the Wild Stallions versus the Lost Vikings. So that should be another good one. And again, don't know what channel that'll be, but Saturday 1 p.m., Sunday 1 p.m. Plenty more Multiworld going on. Do you have anything else you want to say, MM2 or Farfaloo?
Well, thank you for jumping in the comms. like MM2 said, it's definitely worth watching back. Good luck you two in the tournament.
Yeah, for sure. Good luck to you, Michael. And
Yeah, we got Nevdi's team, so we'll just see how that goes.
yeah, sounds like a free win to me. I can't lie.
I think I'm 3-0 versus Nevdi. I'm not sure. But it's been a while since Nevdi and I've gotten a race. No, just real talk. All the teams that are still in the tournament are really great. Anyone can beat anyone, and I'm looking forward to that. Haven't got it on the schedule yet. Looking forward to hopefully having that nailed down soon. As it turns out, my schedule was bad last week. Derp's schedule is bad this week. So imagine losing to Nevdi though.
Imagine couldn't have been us. That definitely didn't happen. I don't know
anyone who ever has.
Yeah.
No.
I've lost to Zeb though.
I have lost to Zeb, and Zeb reminded me. Apparently, I've beaten Zeb. I thought I hadn't beaten Zeb in anything. It's funny, we don't get to race each other. Like, you don't get to race any one person all that much. That like it's always small sample space. So someone will be XO against you, and it's even closer to like 40-60 the other way sometimes. So that's not the case for Zeb. I think it's probably the case for me versus Nevdi, where Nevdi's probably a 60-40 edge against me at this point. But we'll see how it plays out. Should be fun. But all right. If there's nothing else, I don't have anything else to ask about. Definitely just if you haven't followed the runners, haven't followed Pro Piece yet, go do all those things. Show them some love. And thank y'all for hanging out. GG's to our teams, and looking forward to a lot more Super Metroid Multiworld as this tournament kind of comes toward the end. Or don't follow Pro Piece in chat saying maybe not. But you make your own choice. Thank y'all for hanging out, and we will see you next mission.